Hi, this is Mike Rogers, attorney here in Cleburne. I want to talk to you today about how the criminal justice system really works, how the sausage is made. It's not like what you think it is. Most laymen don't have a clue as to really how it really works. 99.99% of all criminal cases are resolved by plea agreements. Only a very few cases actually wind up going to a full-blown jury trial. So, what goes into a plea agreement? Well, first of all, the prosecutor is going to evaluate a case. They're going to evaluate how solid their case is. They're going to look at how aggravated the facts may be in terms of what's going to happen, what are they going to offer. Obviously, the criminal history of the defendant plays a big part in that. If someone has a long rap sheet, then the state will not be eager to want to cut that defendant a lot of slack. From the defense side, the defense has to decide whether or not they believe that the state can truly prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. If there are holes in the state's case, then that puts the defense attorney in a situation where they need to really maybe dig in their heels on the plea agreement. All of these things are always discussed outside of the courtroom, sometimes in the back halls of a courtroom. But these deals are struck every day across the country in every single criminal courts building. That's how things are done. Now, there are situations where the state and the defense can't get together. There's a dispute that's not reconcilable. So those are the cases that wind up going before a jury. But again, that's only a handful of cases. Think about it. Most of these courts handle hundreds, if not thousands, of cases per year. There's only 52 weeks in the year, and on average, only one trial could take place in a year. So even if a court did nothing but try jury trials, they could only resolve maybe 40 or 50 cases. Best case scenario, and that would mean all of their other duties would have to be neglected. So there has to be some give and take by both the prosecution and the defense to get these cases resolved. And sometimes, from my standpoint, dealing with some prosecutors, they're way off the mark. They're not grounded in reality in terms of their offers. And when that happens, the courts get backed up. When you have prosecutors that are unreasonable, the courts get backed up. I remember a number of years ago, there was a female prosecutor in the courts here, and she was very stubborn, thought everybody ought to go to prison for life, at least that's the way she came across. And consequently, she had a lot of cases wound up being on the trial docket that should have gotten resolved otherwise. So the attitude of the prosecutor is going to make a big difference in terms of how cases flow. The judges want their dockets to flow. They don't want to have hundreds and hundreds of cases set on a trial docket because they could never be able to try all those cases. So there's got to be give and take in the criminal justice system. And for the most part, that does happen. But occasionally, the defense and the state can't get together, and it's going to result in a jury trial having to be tried. The problem being right now, because of COVID, the courts are backed up for a year and a half, 2 years. So people that are out on bond, that's a good thing because they're still free. Not a good thing for the people that are locked down in the county jail awaiting trial. I mean, we have people that have been in jail here in this county for 2 years, waiting for a trial date. So the judicial system works well, but when you have an interruption like COVID, that really does throw everything into a bad situation, because you got to realize for an entire year, over a year, the courts were not able to try a single jury trial. So you can imagine the chaos that has created in our criminal justice system, not only here locally, but all over the state of Texas, all over the country. So in any event, if you're in need of a lawyer, remember your first consultation with me is always going to be free.